Hello guys, welcome to another video. So this is our upload in over 6-7 days now. So it's been a while since we made a video. So we're going to look at Nasdaq, and I'll just run through it, give you some signals here and there, what to look out for, and how to take advantage of this structure that we have here. So make sure that you stick until the end. And if you like this style of analyzing, or how I do things, you can just take the mentorship, or you can just subscribe, so that when I make more videos you'll be notified. All right, let's get started. So it's very important that when you're analyzing, you check what the bigger structure is saying, and then based on that you can then decide if it's a good idea for you to continue buying or selling, because you cannot just trade and not know what the bigger structure is saying. So this is what we have on our monthly chart, and basically the structure is still very much bearish, even though the bulls are trying to come in, but they haven't really changed the structure fully to bullish. So that's why we cannot say we are yet bullish. We are still very much bearish, and we will remain bearish until the bearish structures are being taken out. Then we will say the bulls have won, they have defeated the bears basically. So we have got our bearish trend line here all the way up there, and we have got this as our resistance. So it's very important that when you trade, as much as there's what is called buying, and there's also what's called selling, but it's very important for you to know these areas, these strong areas where the price is most likely gonna struggle passing there, so that you know where exactly to take those buys and sells. Because just knowing that there's what we call buying, selling, but you don't know where to pull the trigger is pointless, because you just enter in the middle of nowhere. So here we've got our resistance there, and we've got our support here. We've been talking about this one for a very long time. So this is our support. For as long as the bulls are not pushing up, taking out this, or taking out the trend line completely, then we will say that we have a chance of still coming down like that. But for now, the trend line is really under attack. The trend line, it's most likely going to be taken out, but we will see. If they will manage to still continue going to the downside. But there's a very strong one here in a form of resistance. So that's all that we have. We can say that currently the price is touching a resistance, and it's a very strong one, and it can still be rejected and forced to go back down. And you can see that so far we've got this, which looks like a pin bar, but we can't call it a pin bar yet because the month is not yet over. So we'll just see how this candlestick closes. Then it will give us an indication if the price wants to go to at least here, or cross completely and come to this support. So the structure here will be decided month end. So now this is what we have on weekly, which is still even more interesting, right? There's a candlestick that looks like these guys that you need to be very careful of. The pin bars, or the rejection candlesticks, right? So when you have a bullish one forming at a bullish structure, it's a good sign that you can trust it and try and take your chances there. Because now here we can say that we are sort of consolidating, because this is our trend line and this is our resistance that I do believe that is still holding, and this is a weekly resistance that is inside that monthly one. But on this time frame it is not fresh because we tested it there. This is the second touch, and it looks like we went higher than this, which means the bulls are trying, and they can even have their bullish trend line there. But until they take out this, we can't say they are out. And you know that they are bouncing from a monthly one. Their chances of winning there, they're very slim. They can win, but hey, it's not going to be easy, right? And we can say that this guy here, it's a very important zone on this time frame. Why? Because he's the one that pushed the price up and making sure that this trend line is taken out. So he's the one that's responsible for that. So that's why he's a very strong zone. So the day the price moves to the downside, touching this support or touching this trend line, it will be a very nice area for you to take your chances again and hope that the price will go up. But you also need to be mindful of the fact that our monthly looks something like this. If it ends with the pin bar and then coming down here, you need to be careful, but it will still struggle to pass there. That's why you're taking your chances there on weekly. But you need to be careful of the fact that we had this, we can still continue with the downside. But that nonetheless, we also have a chance to say that these guys here are very strong, this support and the trend line, And if the price moves back to them, you are more than welcome to take your chances there. And currently, what do we have here? We know we are at the resistance, and last week we ended with this, which is the very same structure I was talking about now, to say that a pin buy is very important. When you have a bullish one at a bullish structure, very strong. When you have a bearish one at a bearish structure, the same one we have here, which is a bearish pin bar at an area of resistance, and the price is moving lower than that pin bar, watch out. Something like this might happen. It might fail, but this is something that you can't ignore, basically. So we are also here, the conclusion will still be the same as what we had on monthly, because we are bouncing from resistance, and they are gaining control. They can push the price back to the downside. Now this is what we have on our daily chart, and we just need to check, because this might be different broker to broker, depending on which broker you're using, right? On this broker, let's see if we moved higher than it. I just want to check here. Yes, on this broker we went higher than it slightly, so which means this one has been removed. So when you're talking about the nearest support and the nearest resistance, we will take this one here and say this is our nearest resistance on daily, and in terms of the support, this is definitely our nearest support, right? And the price, that the resistance that we just touched and then reversed, it's inside the daily, the weekly one, like we just saw now, is inside the monthly one. So there's a lot of backup, or a lot of factors trying to push the price to the downside. So, and now there are also more factors here that are suggesting that the bears are very weak. Look at them. They were moving, cruising nicely towards that zone, right? And when we say someone is in control, the bulls or the bears, the buyers or the sellers, they need to at least do this. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. That's how you say the price is bullish, right? We know the price doesn't move like these guys. We know that. So if you are keep on making those higher highs and higher lows, that's when you say you will remain printing, going to the upside, right? But now when you look at it, it did this, it came down, it did this, it came down, it did this until there. That's the first sign of weakness, to say that we have hit the wall now. The bulls are no longer that strong to continue to do that. They could have done it, but it's not easy, given the fact that we know we are inside the monthly resistance, the weekly resistance, and we have just touched the daily resistance. It's not easy, but rather we see the price, instead of creating a new high, it creates a lower low. And when it did this lower low on weekly, we also saw that bearish rejection candlestick. So that's why I'm saying these things, they are there suggesting that, hi man, the bulls have been in control. All of a sudden they are showing signs of weakness, which is why I'm saying it's very important, as much as buying, selling, but you need to be able to identify those sensitive areas, those strong areas where you say, if I'm holding a buy trade and we come to this level, the price passing here, it's gonna be very, very difficult. Yes, we can pass it, but I don't have to be part of that struggle where the price is struggling to pass the zone. You hit the zone, I'm out. I've made enough money, I've made enough pips, I'm out. It's not about the money, it's about the percentage. When you say an account is growing, if someone has a $2,000 account and then another one has got $200 account, if they both trade, right, take one trade, and this one of $2,000 uses maybe, let's say, size 0.5, and then they make a $200 dollar profit, right? And then the other guy that has got a $200 account, they are using the minimum lot size, but rather they make $150 profit. So now when you compare in terms of the percentage, yes, it looks like the other one made 200, this one made 150, but they were trading on a 150 account using a minimum lot size. So their account grew by how much? That's a lot of money. So that's why a growth is measured in terms of the percentage. Don't worry about this person using a bigger size, they hold for 7 pips and they make more money. When they lose, they are in trouble. So you need to make sure that you are in control. Use a size that even if the price moves against you, you're still very much safe to recover. And in that way, when your lot size is reasonable, even the emotions, you detach them a little bit, because you know that you're not risking a lot. But when you use that crazy size, every 5 seconds will be opening your MT4. That's not trading. It shouldn't be like that. So for now, we are saying this will remain our zone, and we just need to check if the trend line has been removed or not. We can draw it maybe from here, pass it like that. The trend line has been removed, right? And we can just say, let me see. You can even mark it from there. It's fine. You can mark it anywhere around there and say yes. It's just a lot of stuff happening, but you can mark it here if you want. That's up to you. But this area here is the one that pushed the price down, broke the trend line, and now it is trying to challenge this guy here, which is what? The support, right? This one here is not a support, and those that took the mentorship, they would know. That's why it's important for you to know that not every swing high, swing low you see on your chart is worth your energy. You need to assess all of them and then decide which ones are zones and which ones are just swing highs or swing lows. That's what I teach in the mentorship, to make sure that when you are there opening your chart, just because you know how to, you know that you should be buying, but it does not mean you should just point at any swing low on your chart and say, I'm going to buy from this. No, it has to be a swing low that is a zone. Not every swing low is a zone, but that's a story for another day. So now that the price is moving to the downside, and it's sort of, it created a lower low here, definitely. If you just zoom in there, it means we are sort of not yet fully to the downside, but we do have this. And we are saying we are consolidating, and during a consolidation you can buy, you can sell. Should the price move back there to that trend line or that zone, you can take a trade to the downside, but with confirmation, because we are saying we haven't yet defeated the bulls fully, because their support is still holding, and this and that. So you can take a sell there, take a buy there, take a sell there, take a buy there. All right, because of what? We are consolidating. But now when you look at the structures from the other time frames, the bigger time frames, they are suggesting that we have touched the areas of resistance and we are bearish and stuff like that. Because of that, they are suggesting that even in this consolidation, even if I was to guess, yes, it might not play out like that, but when you're looking at that, to say that we are consolidating here, but the structure on the other side could end up suggesting that the support can be taken out. But we're not going to predict such. It will all depend on how the price reacts when it gets there. What kind of structures are we getting there if it gets there? Or if from where it is, if it moves up there, what do we get there? So that we can check if ever on this smaller time frame, on this daily, I'm saying smaller because it's smaller than the ones that we've looked at so far. Based on the structures we're getting there, we can decide whether this has got a chance to go back down or to break that. But otherwise, consolidating, we can try trade in between. Now let's take H4, right? On H4, I did make, I think I looked at this one just overnight, and I did predict that because the price was still around there, I did predict that now we still have a chance to move to the downside because of what? I saw all those structures on the other side. And also, if you look at us coming to the downside, we did have these pin bars that you can even mark them and say they end there. One of these pin bars that you're marking there or you're printing there. Now, the price is struggling to eliminate them. When you're talking about eliminating a pin bar, if this is a pin bar, the bears are saying, should I cross to this side, I'm gone. But if the bulls are saying, no, I don't want to let you do that, I want to reverse that effect. So they need to at least go until they're breaking to the other side. So now that's why I have a horizontal line to say that the pin bars, they end here. So for the bulls to eliminate them completely, they need to play on the other side, of which they never did. When the price got there, they still said, no, we are going to defend. The bears still said, we are going to defend our thing. Our pin bars, and you can see they formed a pin bar there in the same pin bar to say that this are the best, showing that they can take you on. And we still broke that, and then we continue. That's why I was printing, or that's why I was suggesting that, or I was predicting that we most likely to continue to go to the downside. But now they tried here, the bulls, they tried to form that engulfing. But engulfing alone, it's not enough if you're not going to reverse the effect of the people that you're fighting against. If we are bearish, you're giving me a bullish pin bar, a bullish engulfing. That alone is not enough for me to say the bears are out. No, you need to do more. Yeah, but so in this case, we even move slightly lower. I think this one has been removed, and we can say on our H4, you can put a bearish trend line there, and to say this is our nearest support, and this is our nearest resistance somewhere up there. So because of that, we are bearish and we have a chance of coming here, right? But we haven't yet, confirmed going lower than this, because remember, on one time frame something may look like just a swing low, but on another time frame it may be a zone. That's what you need to understand, to say that this one here, in this case, it pushed the price up there, breaking the trend line. That's not something we saw on the other time frame. So we are saying that just check how the price, maybe it moves there, but the target will be coming here. But should the price go up and take out this trend line, take it out maybe like this, then you'll say this zone that did all of that, maybe ideally if it will be inside this when it does that. If it does that, maybe if it just touches this zone, that's very strong, because look what it did, the take off there. So if it touches that and then it does that, breaking this, then you can say we are nested here, and then I can take that. If we haven't taken out these guys, I will exit there, but you will need confirmation for that. You can't just jump in. And on H1, what do we have? Nothing much. Even on H1, we never really done anything. So if maybe on H1 you wanted to put your trend line there, you could say your trend line was removed, but the areas of resistance never removed. Because of that, we are not bullish, but this guy became a zone because of what he did, which was what? Breaking the trend line. But because we are not bullish fully, it means yes, it's a support, but because we are not bullish on this time frame, we need to make sure that if we are consolidating, we said we can buy, we can sell, but we need what we call confirmation. In this case, the price just came down here. What confirmation did you have? Nothing. You had no reason to buy from this support, basically. And the support was taken out. You can adjust your trend line, putting it like that, and then say that you've got the new zone here, right? And you can see this, if it closes as a pin bar, we said this thing, if you break it this side, you maybe continue like that. But if it was maybe to go up like that, and then you can try and join from there, just get your confirmation there, and then you're good to go. So that's basically what I teach. How do you tell if the price is going up or down? Okay, if it's going up or down, what is it that I must be doing? Should I be searching for buy trades or sell trades? Yes, okay, you're telling me I should search for buy trades. Where am I going to do that? And then when I know where I'm going to search for those trades, how am I going to pull that buy trade? How am I going to pull the trigger? And where must I place my take profit, stop losses? That's all that I teach. So that's basically the structure that we have on Nasdaq right now. So make sure that you follow it. And if you see it touching those zones that we just identified here, and it giving you confirmation around those structures, don't hesitate, jump in. For as long as you know that you're not going to use a crazy lot size, use a size that is reasonable for your account size, so that should the setup fail, you're not going to blow the account. And when you get the confirmation, you have stop losses in place, and then pull the trigger. Then let's see what happens. All right, guys, that's all that I wanted to share with you. If you have watched this far and you haven't subscribed, please do so, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.